YML. Apart from JSON, Viper can also be used to read files in YAML format. The way to use it is the same as when using JSON. Okay, next we will try reading the YML file. We just create a YAML file with the same parameters as the JSON file. To do the same testing, we just use the previous coding. We just copy it. Next, we create a test file by creating the first init config function. In this function, there will be a process of calling parameters from the JSON file with the help of the Viper package. The init config function is used to initialize the application configuration using Viper to facilitate configuration management. Initially, Viper.setConfigName with parameter input configs is used to set the name of the configuration file to be read, namely config, no extension. Next, Viper.addConfigPath with parameter.adds the current directory.input as the location where Viper will look for the configuration file. Once the basic configuration is set up, Viper.readInConfig is called to read the configuration file. If an error occurs during the reading process, the AF block will catch the error and print an error message using log fatal, which also stops the application execution. Next, we create a test.json function that will be built into unit test using Viper. First, we call the initConfig function that we have created. Tips for creating variables based on parameters in the YAML file. First, the variable appName takes the string value of the appName parameter. For the string value of the parameter in the file, we use the Viper.getString function. Both port variables take integer values from the port parameters in the file. Next, dpost, dabapor, and debuser access the configuration from the database subcategory, respectively getting the host, port, and database username. Next, the function prints all the values obtained using fmtprint. This includes information such as the application name, app name, port, debug mode, debug, database host, database.host database port, database base, port, and database username, database username. This test helps ensure that the application can properly access and read the configuration from the prepared JSON file. We will try the following test, the results of which are all the values in the YAML file parameters can be retrieved.